Okay, Ian here. Just a wee update on my rebuild of my Bantam 1967 D7 silver Bantam, which although previous videos I've said it's a restoration, it's not really a restoration, it's more of a recommission, because I've been very careful to try and keep it as unrestored as I can. I've had to do a few things, because when I got the bike it was advertised as a D7 Super, but when I checked the engine numbers and the frame number, it turned out it was a silver Bantam, and of course it had been painted blue, sapphire blue all round. So very reluctantly I've had to restore the silver paint to the headlight and the mudguards, and you'll notice that they're not all nice and shiny, and that was deliberate. I decided I didn't want it looking shiny, so all I've done is sprayed them with a base coat of chromatic silver and left it. I haven't even lacquered it, and I've rubbed it down a bit to make it look a wee bit old, so it's a sort of kiddie on pseudo patina, if you like. But I think it's quite effective, because it's given me the effect that I was looking for. It looks like an old used bike. So what have I done? Since the last video, I've actually done quite a lot. I've got all the wiring sorted out. All the switches work fine. I've put a new battery in it. So we'll look at the electrics first. What I've done is I've got the electrics working. And of course the running light, tail light, just run off the battery. So there's the pilot light, and the tail light's working away fine. There we go, got a nice shiny tail light, and if we can see it, there we are, the brake light's working away fine as well. And you'll see I've got fitted indicators to it. I was told, oh, bad idea, because the battery and the charging system is not good enough on a Bantam to support indicators. Well, I fitted LED indicators to it, and the way I've done it is I made a wee bar, if you like. It's 15mm tube, which I've connected with a wee bracket that I made to the pinch bolts, and it's quite sturdy. The bulbs are changed from the original 12 volt bulbs to 6 volt LEDs, and I've put an LED flasher unit which is under the seat, and they work quite well. Before I switch them all, I'll show you. This is not original, obviously. This is an aftermarket 3-in-1 switch. It's horn, indicators and dip switch. So we'll switch the indicators on. There we go. Hey, there we are. We've got indicators. And the good thing is, contrary to what I was told, I'll switch the tail light back on. The tail light doesn't flash in sympathy with indicators, which is good, because the LEDs, they hardly take any drain off the battery whatsoever, so I'm quite pleased with that. There was no way I was wanting to do hand signals in modern traffic. So what else have I done to the bike? Apart from the indicators, the wiring lights all work. I got the speedometer working. It was stuck, so I had to take it to bits. Unfortunately, one thing that does happen, it lives outside, you get a wee bit of condensation in there, which I've tried a couple of times to fix, but unsuccessfully. It's not too bad today, at least I can see the speedo. I've put mirrors on it. These were just cheapies that I got off eBay, and when I first got them, I couldn't see past my shoulders because they were sort of pointing up, and I had to put them in the vise and bend them out. So now I can actually see past my shoulders, so that's quite good. The tank is more or less as I got it. I haven't done anything with that at all. The seat cover was in pretty poor condition, and I had no choice but to renew it. and rather than buy a cover, I actually made this one. I've got a sewing machine, and I got some vinyl and some piping, and I made this seat cover myself. And the BSA logo on the seat, if I can get in there and see it, I bought a stencil off eBay and just sprayed it with a rattle can of gold acrylic paint. So that turned out, I'm quite pleased with that. That turned out not too bad at all. So let's turn the lights off. There we go. Right, the important bits. The engine. I took the barrel off, and I noticed one of the excuse me, one of the piston rings, the top ring, was actually broken, so I replaced the top ring, and I was quite pleased. I seemed to get good compression and everything was nice and sound in there. So I got new gaskets, put the engine back together, and spent days trying to start it. So eventually I stripped the carburetor down, which I should have done in the first place. Stripped the carburetor down, and it was pretty good nick, but the pilot jet was really bunged up and I couldn't free it, so I bought a new pilot jet, got some new gaskets for it, put it back together, and it works. The other thing was this fuel banjo here. The original one was a plastic one, and it split and it was spewing fuel all over the place. So I got this one off eBay, a metal one, and a new fuel line, and that seems to have done the trick. And as you see on this carburetor, it's 375/60 I think it is, it's got a push choke on it and just a plain screw on filter there. What else have I done to it? Yeah, I had to get a new chain because the chain that was on it was pretty poor, and it was a 420. This is a proper chain. Let's see what else I did. Ah yeah, this is the brake switch, which I've fitted to the swing arm with a P-clip, and that works very well. And I've had to really adjust that pedal because originally I was tiptoeing it, and as you can see there, it's adjusted up quite a bit there. Original shockers on it, I just give them a wee coat of paint. Let's see what else. The carrier, I got that off eBay. I think that came originally from a Japanese bike, Suzuki or a Honda or something like that. Right, let's go around here. There's not much really, so I'm not going to stay out too long. This is just a wee quickie. The exhaust pipe was pretty ropey, there's no chrome left on it. In fact, there was a wee leak down here which I had to weld a wee bit in there to cover a wee hole, and there's still a tiny wee puff of smoke comes out the front, so I'm going to have to do something about that. What else can I say about it? That's about it. As you see, it's not got a badge there because I didn't have one, so I've just made that wee resin blank one for the time being until I get a new badge. But what else can I say about it? Ah yes, the clutch. When I first started the bike, I was really chuffed. I thought, oh yeah, it's going to go. So I put it in gear. And the thing leapt forward and immediately stalled because the clutch was actually solid. All the plates were stuck together. So I dismantled it, cleaned up the plates. Apart from being stuck together, they were not bad condition. So I separated them, cleaned them up, and I had to file some of the burrs off the clutch basket, put it back together, and hey presto, it worked. So I was quite pleased about that. The levers were missing when I got the bike, so these are just ones that I bought off eBay. The original brake cable. I bought a new brake cable and it was very lightweight, and there was a bit of stretch in it, but I managed to dig out the original one, which was thicker, and that seems to work quite well. The back brake was terrific. The front brake, not so much, so I'm going to put new shoes in the front, and I'll do that when I take the wheel off to fit the new tyre. Not much else I can say about it, apart from the fact that it does actually run, so I hope it doesn't make a fool of me. Let's give it a go. Haha. There we go. Usual clouds of smoke, and a wee bit of smoke leaking out the front there. Still a bit cold now. You'll notice that I'll turn it off just now. You'll notice that it started. It hasn't been started for a few days. My goodness, there's a right cloud of smoke, but it hasn't been started for a few days, and it actually started without choke, and it does. I've got a few adjustments to make on the carb. It might be running a bit rich, I don't know. 2 strokes are an unknown quantity to me. It was the first 2-stroke I've ever had in my life. But that's it, that's Bertie the Bantam. Just a wee quick update, as I say, because it is wet. It's been raining and it's still looking a bit yuck. So I'm not going to stay out too long. So that's it. Hopefully we'll get a decent bit of weather. Hopefully. It's been raining on and off for about a week. I was hoping to go up to the Arbroath, to the Scottish Classic Motorcycle Club meet, the wee Smoky up in Arbroath, and it was a 2-stroke special, and I really threw Bertie together because I was really wanting to go take Bertie up there, but it didn't happen because of that severe wobble I got off that front tyre. When I checked the bead, it's not actually, if I follow the wee line around there, it's a bit nipped in there, it comes out, so I think I've not actually fitted it very well. But as I said, I think a new wheel bearing and a new tyre will help that out. So that's Bertie the Bantam. It does work. There we are.